Hello, students, staff, and civilians of the Port Washington area. I'm Egan Norman, and live from 319A, it's PDUB in the morning!
Everybody, we're coming from 319A to bring you news on what's happening around Port Washington High School. First, we'll be talking with Grace about Port Pride and whether it's been effective for students here at Port Washington.
Recently, new programs have been implemented at Port Washington High School to influence attitude and possibly create new behaviors within the student body. This includes the use of Pirate Bucks, part of the PBIS initiative, and the Port Pride program, which includes 5 expectations that its members need to complete. Are these programs overwhelming the students and staff? It's time we finally find out how this new agenda began and whether or not it is effective. First, we'll talk to Mr. Burke about Port Pride, then ask Mr. Solorzano a couple questions about PBIS.
What are some things that we could ask every student to possibly do at our school that's doable, and but also help kids have some pride in who they are and as a student, but also help the community. So we made that commitment to those 5 areas as a pledge. Again, so the idea for an incentive for the program came from students and also teachers over the summer as we came up with how are we going to get kids to want to be a part of this other than just to do it because it's a good thing to do. Mm-hmm. So the idea of having someone, again, that could inspire all students, not just kids that get A's, but all students to try and reach a goal of achieving those 5 areas. No. I think it's fair, but I can understand why maybe some people don't, but but I think that, again, it's not just community service, it's doing all 5 of those areas and making a commitment to those things. So, and then in the end, the value of one exam exemption, or even if it is 2, I think is outweighed by the good that doing community service and being involved in your school.
You guys saw those behavior matrices posted along where it says hallway, cafeteria, classroom. So that's the start of PBS. I come from another school district where we implemented it. It was very successful, and the kids liked it a lot. So we feel that there's a lot of kids out there that are starting to get into it. The key of whether it'll take off or not is if the staff buys into it or not, and if the students start buying into it. Next step is to try to find a community of students that can address other behaviors that we want to try to change or turn into a positive behavior rather than negative. So doing those types of behaviors, we'd be really happy to address those. It's just getting this thing off the ground and rolling, and get people aware what it is with some easy stuff at first is really important.
Now that we have the opinions of our head faculty, let's see what students and staff have to say about these new initiatives.
It's trying to make the school better and encouraging students to help each other and participate and get involved in activities.
I couldn't tell you what the acronym stands for. I think it's something like Positive Behavior IS. Whatever that is.
Person in school, PBIS. Person behind in school. I can't tell you.
My initial response to them was somewhat critical because it didn't seem like something a high school would be doing. On the other hand, you know what, if I just handed you a piece of candy and said, you know what, you're awesome, have a piece of candy. It's also sort of weirdly inauthentic. So I don't know if there's a way to make it work where it doesn't feel sort of forced.
I do think that it's kind of counterproductive for them to be promoting like good actions and then be like, oh, here's a prize. You can skip everyone in the lunch line, which is like not a kind thing to do. So I think that's kind of dumb.
Exam exemptions, like it was kind of more towards like a reward for people who did really good.
Thing that the school's doing, and they want us to be like good students outside of school.
It sucks that people who aren't trying as hard as like me and I'm getting a good grade in the class are able to exempt it. Like I don't think that's right.
You have to be in an activity, you have to do like 10 hours of community service. You have to, I don't know, be a good person.
Here are the 5 requirements for Port Pride. Number 1, you need to be alcohol and drug free. Number 2, you need to be involved in at least one activity, club, or sport. Number 3, you need to complete 10 hours of community service per semester. Number 4, you can't fail any classes. Number 5, no disciplinary referrals.
It seems like everyone has a different viewpoint on the Port Pride program and PBIS, which stands for Positive Behavior Incentive System. Whose is right? We don't really know. What we do need to know, though, is how these programs will affect the future of Port Washington High School.
It seems like the program has been going fairly well for our school.
It has indeed. Now let's go get a look at a really cool new class that's being offered at Port Washington. Students in this class say it's one of their most flexible classes and really enjoyable to be a part of. Let's take a look at the school's opinion on mass comm. We asked 10 Port Washington High School students if they knew what mass communications was.
It's a video making class.
I don't know. That's like where a whole bunch of people come together and talk about the same exact thing.
No, I don't know what that is.
A video production class.
No. When you communicate with masses. Nah.
No.
Mass communications is actually the sending of a message from one sender to many receivers. So in the case of this class, it is the producing of videos that could possibly be seen by the whole school. We asked 3 mass communication students on what they thought about the class.
My favorite thing about mass comm would probably be the freedom that we have.
A wide spectrum of creativity that's permitted within the atmosphere.
Being able to do my own thing. Like, I get to create my own project. I get to pick out who to interview or what to shoot or, you know, what to write.
Walking into this class, I didn't know what it was going to be like, but now that I do know what it is, it's a lot more enjoyable.
I had Mrs. Utke last year, and she told us what mass comm was going to be about.
One of the most fun classes I'm taking.
Probably one of the most fun classes I've ever taken.
Well, I ran a program similar to this out in Nevada when I was teaching out there, and so last year when the photo class was transitioning into the art department because there was no one in the communications department that was licensed to teach it, Mr. Burke approached me about starting this mass communications class with this video production piece, and since I had experience doing that, that was kind of one of the things that was on the agenda when I got hired, and I really enjoy teaching it, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what we can do, and it gives me a chance to kind of start from scratch and take all the mistakes that I made in Nevada and make them better so that the class turns out like, I think right now it's going really well. So,
now that you know what mass communications is, would you consider taking this class?
Many of you have heard of the name of a group in our school called the Best Buddies. The adult and student members who join the group at our school have each joined for a specific reason.
A lot of the kids who are in Best Buddies as a buddy are on my caseload, so it was another opportunity to work with them outside of the school setting.
Well, I heard about Best Buddies from my cousin, and so I joined it in freshman year.
I heard through my teacher was kind, he told me about it, and I was like, well, I better try it out.
My cousin was the president at his high school, and so he advised me to join.
I wanted to help the kids who don't have the best social skills.
And I continued in the club because the buddies are fun and there's never a dull moment when you're with them.
Today, we will hear their story.
Best Buddies is an organization that forms one-on-one friendships with people with and without intellectual or any kind of disability.
The main goal is to get them matched with a typically developing peer.
Basically in Best Buddies, we hang out with people or kids with disabilities.
So with those one-on-one matches, the kids are able to foster a friendship. The buddies are able to learn leadership, developmental, and life skills.
The group achieves their goal of making friendships by sponsoring several events for the buddies to participate in throughout the year.
Usually everybody is assigned a buddy.
And we hang out with them outside of school a lot.
And some things you can do.
We go to could go to like the movies with your buddy.
Hang out at your house and play like video games or like make some cookies or something.
You do anything like you would do with like any other friendship you have.
We have different social events.
Two of the ones I can think of are the puppy chow sale and Trick or Treat for the Hungry.
We go around and we ask, instead of for candy for trick-or-treating, we ask for like non-perishable food items and we donate that to the food pantry in Port.
I just went with us, but I just went with us by Erica. We just, just went around each one's house. And
we do puppy chow.
We make like a huge batch of puppy chow and then we sell it at lunch.
My favorite thing was making puppy chow.
And then we use that for fundraising money.
And so we all get together and we do things like that.
Best Buddies has impacted everyone involved in a positive way.
I think for the buddies themselves, the people with the intellectual and developmental disabilities, it provides friendship and companionship.
I think it helps them grow as a person socially.
The buddies are able to make more friends and their social skills improve through the club.
Rather than eating alone at lunch, they get to eat with their buddies.
And hopefully it'll help them form friendships outside of school and outside their high school life.
They're also doing things outside of school with other people, like their peer buddies, whereas if they didn't have those peer buddies, they might just be sitting at home alone.
Some of these kids, they start out in the year just really quiet and shy, but at the end of the year they're running around having fun at the park at the end of the year party, and it's just really cool.
For the peer buddies, it probably provides an understanding of people who may be different than them.
It helps the other members of the club to become more aware of the kids with disabilities.
I feel like Best Buddies has helped me look for more positives in people and not just focus on the negative things in people and never to judge a person without getting to know them first.
I think they get great satisfaction at helping their buddies out, to be a support person for them. But beyond our group, I hope that it's also impacting the other kids in the school to see that relationships between people with developmental disabilities and people without can happen, and they should, and they're meaningful.
Hopefully, the organization will be able to achieve their goal of spreading this positive movement around the country.
Now that was a look at another new program that we have at Port High called Best Buddies. It's important to make sure everybody feels comfortable in our community, whether they're part of the program or just somebody that's different than the rest of us. Make sure that people feel welcome. It is estimated that 160,000 students miss school every day due to fear of bullying and being bullied. Let's see a quick PSA to give us a look into what it's like to be bullied.
That was really quite moving, and a good reminder that you should treat others how you would like to be treated.
Indeed. Up next we'll be going to Caitlin and Brooke for sports.
They have interviewed the Lady Pirates, who are supposed to make quite an impact on the girls' basketball scene this year.
Last year, the girls' basketball team had a few victories, including those against Milwaukee Lutheran, Nicolet, Mesmer Prep, and the University School of Milwaukee.
We won against Milwaukee Lutheran, Mesmer, and Nicolet. Overall, we did okay. We had a lot of good wins. When we wouldn't win or had a hard loss, we would come back at practice and work even harder, and it would motivate us to try even better to get that next win.
This year, the Lady Pirates are hoping to continue winning. They are preparing for an even better season.
We are conditioning more this year.
One way is on Monday nights. We have open gym from 6 to 8. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we have weightlifting from 6 to 7:30.
And we are getting to know the other teammates so we can communicate better on the court.
Is this the younger team this season?
Yes, the majority of us are sophomores.
We don't have very many juniors or seniors this year.
How do you think that will affect you guys?
I think it'll affect us by our age difference because most of us are either 15 or 16 and we're playing like 17 and 18-year-olds.
The other teams that we play against have older and more experienced girls, so it'll be harder to compete with them.
But it'll also help because now we know like what to expect during our games.
I'm looking forward to beating Grafton.
I'm looking forward to beat Grafton's butt.
Because they're our rivals and they beat us like every time this season. And it would be golden.
You can watch the girls varsity team's first game of the 2014-2015 season. Come ready to cheer on your Lady Pirates.
Are you tired of getting stains out the first time every time? Do you wish there was a better way?
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Hi, I'm Ben Blanchett and I'm here with the All Scam No Wow. Did your dog pee on your carpet and you wish he hadn't? Just cover it up with the All Scam No Wow and pretend it isn't there. Did your kid spill grape juice on your new white carpet? It's too late for the carpet, but now you can just blend the color in. Look at it now. You're an artist. Just look at it. It doesn't suck up any of the spill. It's absolutely amazing. Now it's time to get some credibility and see what people think of the All Scam No Wow.
Can't live without it. I just love it. Oh my gosh, I don't even buy paper towels anymore.
I run a one-star restaurant and we're going to be going out of business soon, but I can't take all the credit though. All Scam Noel helped me out so much.
You heard it here, folks. The awesome power of the All Scam No Wow. This product has been in development for 2 days.
Years.
Oh, 2 years. I'm not done yet, though. Call in the next 20 minutes and we'll throw in the All Scam No Wow Mini. Throw it here, Frank. Just as effective at making messes worse. But wait, there's more. Order right now and you'll get a keychain flashlight so you can find messes in the dark. Oh, there we go. Look at that mess. Look at that, it didn't do anything. Perfect. To order, call 1-800-IS-A-SCAM or go online to www.boopitybop.com. Scammers United is now responsible for the product actually working. Please be aware of imitators. Chamois.
Some people don't realize that Mr. Belknap isn't only a communications teacher. He's also an actor that had played a key role in the movie Deadweight.
So Deadweight. Deadweight is this independent movie that came out, that we started filming in 2011, was released in 2012, and has since been picked up by an independent film distributor called Kino Lorber, which has now like reprinted the cover and distributed it into video stores and on Amazon and on iTunes and all of these different places. And I got involved with it really because a couple of guys in Oshkosh, Adam Bartlett and John Pata, were working on a script, and these are two very do-it-yourself creative people that I know. Adam runs his own record label. John, for a while, ran his own print shop, and now he's very involved with other independent films. We met at a wedding. We had some friends in common, and we just sort of hit it off, and they were doing this cool sort of project, and they wanted to see if I wanted to get involved. And I was like, well, I'm not an actor. And they're like, yeah, that's okay. We're going to try to figure this out as we go. So I said yes, and at the time I was in my last year of college. I was student teaching, and over my spring break, I filmed most of Deadweight out in Oshkosh and in the surrounding area. So for a week, I slept above a comic book shop, which was amazing, and we just worked really long days filming all of this. We came back a few months later in the summer to film the rest of it, and for the most part, my portion was done, and it came out about a year after that. So the character I play, his name is Charlie Russell. He's like this 20-something guy who doesn't exactly know what he wants, and he has this girlfriend named Samantha, and she is sort of like what he is going after this virus breaks out and we get to this kind of post-apocalyptic world. So then the movie jumps from two different timelines. One is in the past where you see Charlie and Samantha's relationship. Apocalyptic timeline is Charlie trying to get to Wausau, trying to find her. So that's his motivation. And he doesn't have it to begin with, so in the present, he continually becomes undone throughout the course of the film.
None of us know exactly where we are, where we're going.
Where I'm going, it's the only place you're going to want to be.
Hey, you don't turn your back on me. You're not done with anything. We need each other.
I know this is going to result in some really, really great things for me, for us.
Looks like we've got some quite entertaining products and movies coming out.
We do indeed. That seems to be all the time we have today for PDUB in the Morning. From Egan
and Caitlin,
have a phenomenal rest of your day.